This is Lindsay, the Linzinator.
This is Aaron, E-Rin.
And we are
the sexercisers.
Okay, so right now we're on part 4 of our series of dating don'ts. Well, right now we do talk about 2 different personalities, but today we're just going to talk about one. Everybody has experienced this personality. And myself, I have been this personality. Maybe not to the extreme.
Right.
But
I've been that too. Maybe to the extreme.
I feel I'm crazy.
Yeah, I'm crazy. I'll fuck you up. Shit.
I just tripped. So, anyways, we're going to talk about Mr. Crazy.
Yeah.
This could be a girl or a male. Yeah. So, okay, what I want to talk about is this guy I used to date. It was like every Thursday we would get in a fight.
Every Thursday.
Every Thursday because the voices in his head were talking about me. And what he would do is he would like curl up in the corner. I couldn't talk to him. Well, I could talk to him because I was yelling at him because he wasn't responding to my ass. But he would just curl up in the corner, and then he would just like be in another world. And then eventually, like, the voices would make him stop everything he was doing just to listen to them. And it was crazy.
But like, if you see him walking down the street, you totally wouldn't think that he was like
hot.
that. Yeah, he was pretty hot.
He's really hot. I'll date him.
My Mr. Crazy, he was kind of crazy like that. He had this issue with the refrigerator. You'll hear your refrigerator kind of click on, it'll make that little sound. Well, he would say that it was the people below us turning the refrigerator on and off somehow to fuck with him and make him go crazy. And he would wake me up at 4 o'clock in the morning, shaking the shit out of me and screaming in my face because the guy upstairs flushed his toilet, and he was saying that the guy flushed his toilet for me to go up there, or that was the signal for whatever to happen or go on. And so it was just nuts, and it was so hard to deal with, because I loved him so much, but I didn't understand why all of a sudden after a year and a half that this was happening. And the helicopters, we lived maybe a mile or 2 miles from a fucking airport, and I mean every time he heard a helicopter he would be like, why they gotta fly right over the house, and just being really paranoid about it. And I'm just like, dude, what is wrong with you? And then he ended up really having a kind of crazy attack and stole his aunt's car and all kinds of stuff. It was just crazy. And you never ever want a Mr. Crazy, because they will never ever work for you
or
ever.
Leave you alone.
Yeah,
it's like a guaranteed stalker.
Totally.
Mr. Crazy, I didn't see him for 7 months. All of a sudden I saw him. He wanted to move in with me. He wanted me to have his baby. He said he still loved me. It was crazy. And I didn't talk to him for 7 months.
My Mr. Crazy, I bet I've broken up with this motherfucker 2 or 3 times. But he just never goes away. And for some reason I'm just a dumbass. Yeah. But we also need to talk about how our dating do's can also become dating don'ts, and how dating don'ts can also become dating do's.
Right. Because that's very important. That's something that I've learned throughout this whole 4-part series.
Yes.
And I've experienced it in real life.
Me too. It just happened right before we did the show.
Right. It happened at church today. It happened it just happens. It's crazy.
It is crazy.
Because maybe someone acts right. The 95%, like we talked earlier, maybe they act right. But all of a sudden they start not acting as right. That was their interest in somebody else. So Mr. Consistent becomes Mr. Inconsistent.
Yeah. And oh, yeah, mine's Mr. Consistent going to Mr. Inconsistent too. Because, I had this crush on this boy on MySpace. And, he would always, message me and, text me or whatever. And he did all the right things. But then, being a girl, and since this is like like hardwired into my DNA, and I did a little research. I looked on his page and looked at comments and went to other people's pages and stuff. He does this to everybody, so it's like I'm not special, and I thought I was. So it's like all of a sudden he was hot, and then he was not.
Right. Like I had this one guy on MySpace. He was my friend. He lived in St. Louis. But what he would do is he had a certain group of girls, and he would post the same comment to every single one of their pages. Now, he posted me this one comment that was really hot. It was his voice, and he was just, like, hot. But I did some research, and he posted the exact same comment on somebody else's page.
Too bad.
Yeah, that is too bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just think about that. Or a dating don't might stay a dating don't. And if you choose to live with them, that's fine.
Right.
But just don't forget about the don't part, because it might not change.
Yeah. So, it's Stephen 1414. We're waiting for you to accept a request on Yahoo, so if you could hurry up and get with that real quick, you know?
Right.
Just want to let you know.
Yeah, and if you want to shout out, leave a comment below.
Yep. Bye.
All right, bye.